Hello, thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a short flow of stretches for the low back. So if you suffer from mid or low back pain, or you sit at a desk all day and everything in the bottom is tight, we will be opening that up. So let's go ahead and start off in a seated position. And just come to a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades down onto the low back. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen out the spine. And just feel your sit bones grounding down into whatever's beneath you, the mat, the floor, rug, your bed. Imagine roots growing from beneath your sit bones, anchoring you into the earth. Feel the expansion as you reach the energy up through the crown of the head, creating a nice, tall, long spine. And just start to draw your attention to your breath. Letting the eyes gently close. Relaxing the muscles of the face. Finding ease and stillness with each breath in and each breath out. Seeing if you can soften anywhere every time you exhale. Maybe it's releasing tension from the shoulders or the arms. Maybe it's releasing any tension stored in the feet, wiggling the toes. And we'll start to cultivate our Ujjayi breath here. It's usually the pranayama that's used in a yoga class. If you're new to the practice, pranayama means breath work. So as you inhale, you're breathing in through the nose, and as you exhale, the mouth is closed and you're still releasing the air through the nose. You're creating a gentle constriction in the back of the throat. So it should sound like ocean waves. Big breath in. Big breath out. Another big breath in. Slowly exhale through the nose. And just continuing this breath at your own pace. And as we go through the practice, coming back to this breath when the thoughts take over, when discomfort settles in, when the mind starts to wander, bringing it back to this Ujjayi breath. Yoga is all about breath work. The poses are just physical aspects of it, but what we're really trying to do here is get deep into the breath, relax the mind, get in tune with our bodies. On your next exhale, gently open the eyes. And we'll go ahead and come onto our hands and knees in a tabletop position, spreading the fingers nice and wide, pressing through the pads of the fingers, taking a couple of rounds of cat-cow at your own pace. So as you inhale, reaching the crown of the head forward, tucking the toes. And as you exhale, pull the belly in, dome out the spine, creating a nice round back, coming into cat. Inhale, cow. Pulling those shoulder blades together, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhale, cat. Placing the tops of the toes on the mat, belly pulled in nice and tight. Really pushing down through the hands, seeing how far you can separate the shoulder blades. And feel free to incorporate your own movement here. You can shift the weight from side to side in the hips. You can turn the fingers out towards the side or flip them all the way around, opening up the wrists and the forearms. And just slowly kind of waking up the body, tuning into what feels tight today, what areas need more love. And then if you flip the hands, bringing them back to a neutral position, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Again, fingers are spread super wide here. Pads of the fingers are pressing into the mat, pulling those shoulders away from the ears, and just starting to pedal out the feet. And as you bend one knee and straighten out the other leg, send the hips really high up, imagining that you're going to leave your butt print on the ceiling. Using that Ujjayi breath we just learned as you pedal out the feet. Release any tension from the back of the head, shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. And once you've started to settle into some relative stillness, every exhale you want to pull your chest closer to your thighs, really starting to lengthen out the spine and accentuate that lower curve in the spine. Sending the breath up and down. The heels are reaching for the floor, but it's okay if they don't touch. The goal here is to really lengthen out the spine. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, coming into child's pose, take your knees as wide as the mat. Sit the hips all the way down onto the heels and start to walk the hands all the way forward, feeling that stretch on the upper back. Every exhale, seeing if you can sink the hips a little bit lower onto the heels. Really trying to create as much length in the spine as you can. So seeing if you can flatten out the spine, walking the fingertips forward, sinking the hips onto the heels. On your next inhale, coming back onto all fours. Go ahead and sit on your heels. So you should be sitting up with the knees bent in Vajrasana. Place one hand up by your side, grounding the fingertips into the floor. As you inhale, reach that left arm up and over. Reaching those fingertips. Energy through that top hand. Turn the pinky side of that hand that's in the air towards your face, helping plug the shoulder into the socket. On every exhale, seeing if you can create more room over that left rib cage. Long, expansive breaths here. And as you exhale, just place that left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Bring it here. Every exhale, sitting up nice and tall, maybe taking the gaze towards the back wall or whatever's behind you. Again, creating length here through the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the top of the sky as you ground down through the glutes. If this pose is uncomfortable, you can always slide a block underneath the glutes here. That'll help prop you up. As you exhale, gently release the hands back, placing them on both thighs. Place that left arm on the ground right beside you. Inhale, reach that right arm up and over. Energy through those right fingertips. Opening up that right side body. Seeing if you can reach the fingertips a little bit further forward. Opening up the right side body. And as you exhale, gently lower that hand down on the outside of the left thigh and come into a twist facing the left. Keeping that left arm as close as you can towards the back of the spine. Use that right arm as a lever to pull you deeper into the twist. Maybe taking that gaze over your left shoulder, looking towards whatever's behind you. Again, keeping the spine nice and tall. Energy through the crown of the head. Remembering to take expansive breaths in and out the nose. Exhale, gently release. Placing both hands on the thighs, take a couple of shoulder rolls forward and back. Just opening up the shoulders. And then go ahead and sit over to whichever side you'd like. Bring the legs out in front of you. The legs are nice and extended. The toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach those arms all the way up. And as you exhale, let the hands fall forward, landing wherever they land. Maybe it's on top of the shins. Maybe it's around the ankles or the feet. And every exhale, you want to try to bring your head closer to your shins, creating length in the spine. You should be feeling this if you have tight hamstrings on the bottom of your hamstrings. If you're stretching out the low back, you'll also feel this throughout the middle and lumbar spine or your lower back region. So every exhale, just seeing if you can come a little bit further into the posture. Really creating length on the muscles of that low back, which are often contracted throughout the day thanks to modern technology. And then slowly come up one vertebra at a time. Take that right leg, place it on the inside of the left thigh. Again, those toes of that left foot are pointing straight up towards your face or the ceiling. Inhale, reach those arms up, and as you exhale, folding over. And this time I want you to take your right hand and place it on the outside of that left leg. Maybe it's on the left thigh or the ankle or the foot. And I want you to try to pretend you're putting your head underneath your right arm. So you're looking underneath that right armpit. You should be feeling this on the right lower back. Again, taking long, expansive breaths in and out the nose here. Exhale, slowly bringing the body back to that forward fold position. Gently releasing that right arm as you come back up. You can shake out the legs in front of you. We'll take that on the other side. Bringing that left leg against the inside of the right thigh. Flexing the toes straight up towards the face or the sky. Inhale, reach those arms up. Relax the shoulders if they've come up again. And as you exhale, slowly fold forward. And then taking that left arm, grabbing onto the outside of the right foot, you're going to try to put your head underneath your left arm. Imagining that you're looking up into your left armpit. And you should now be feeling this all along the left side of the low back. Breathing here. Every exhale, seeing if you can get a little bit more underneath that arm, turning the body, really feeling that stretch coming from the low lumbar region, the sacral area, maybe even the left side of the hip, depending on how tight everything is. Slowly bringing the spine back to a neutral position. Gently release that hand as you walk the hands up. Extend both legs out in front of you. Give them a nice little shake. And then bring the legs into a butterfly position, coming into Baddha Konasana. So you're going to sit up nice and tall. The bottoms of the feet are touching each other. You can wrap the hands around the bottoms of the feet or grab onto the feet. As you exhale, you're going to sit up nice and tall. And my favorite visualization for this is I'm peering over a cliff. So you want to keep that spine super long as you look over that cliff. And then once you can't look over it anymore, you can slowly fold over, rounding out the spine. And you can use the elbows to apply some gentle pressure onto the inside of the calves or the knees, just creating a deeper stretch in the groin. But seeing if you can really round out the spine or bring the spine closer towards the feet, feeling that stretch not only in the groin, but also in the low back. Every exhale, seeing if you can come a little bit deeper into the posture. Making sure you're not holding up your head, just letting the neck hang super heavy. If you have a block, it's a great place to put a block underneath the forehead. Two more breaths here. Slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. And you can flap out your wings, extend the legs out in front of you, whatever feels good for you. We're just going to take this into a wide fold. So just bringing the legs out into a straddle. Flex the toes of those feet so they're pointing straight up towards the sky. Sit up nice and tall again here. You may want to place the hands behind you and scoot the hip bones forward. And then as you exhale, gently start to walk the hands forward, feeling this in the groin. And again, as you create length in the spine and you walk those fingertips all the way forward, you should also be feeling this in the mid-back, the low back, and maybe even the shoulder blade area, depending on how tight you are. So every exhale, seeing if you can breathe a little bit deeper, maybe walk the hands a little bit more forward, noticing how when you push the hands into the floor, it shifts the stretch and the opening into the axillary region or the back of the armpits. And again, every exhale, seeing if you can come a little bit deeper into the posture, surrendering into the pose, relaxing the muscles. Two more breaths here. Long inhales, longer exhales. And then slowly walking the hands back up. Gently bringing the legs together, giving them a nice little shake.